Hello, thanks for joining me. It's Tommy in Glasgow, Glasgow Radio Online. This is the Celtic Spartak preview. Sorry for being 5 minutes late here. Change of schedules, change of plan. I've nothing lined up. And yes, we can blame, I'll give you the blame here. The blame is going to a fella over in Toronto who shall be named nameless, other than his first name of Deco. So if you know anybody there who is from an Aurora Borealis type crackpot family, then if you find them, blame him for me being up to 6 o'clock in the morning, talking away transatlantic on the Skype. And then when I did the Wayne school run, I went back to my scratcher and I never woke up to 3:30. So I never get anything prepared, nothing done whatsoever. Everything was completely and utterly out the window. So my message to the crackpot over in Toronto is,
but as far as I'm concerned, the first thing you can do for me is to chuck all your medals and all your caps and all your pots and all your pans into the biggest flipping dustbin you can find, because you've never won any of them fairly. You've done it all by blooming cheating.
But you'll have to forgive me, as I've been listening to Rangers fans singing how they'd like to wade up to their knees in my blood.
So basically what I'm doing as well, you've caught me, I've been running about like a blue arse fly since I got up late, and I never get anything prepared, and I'm now about to take my lassie to the game. So it's a mad dash out of here. So what we'll do, I've got a few things lined up to put on, and once I've done I'll give you the commentary when I'm going along. What I'm going to do now is just going to play a little bit of the Rothschilds, a little bit of pre-match entertainment brought to you by the Rothschild banking cabal. So a wee bit of education and entertainment. I'm still debating whether I'll do a live commentary tonight. It's just that any time I do a live commentary, I never get any good results at it, so I'm a bit worried about doing it to be a jinx. I'd rather no date and we get through. But hey ho. So right, we've started the show. I've got nothing planned apart from 50 minutes of the good Rothschild family to help me out while I got on my ways. And yeah, I might even park up in the Gallagate, try and grab a few Celtic fans. That's what I might do. Drop my lassie off along the Gallagate. She's going to walk along with her pals, and then I might sit about the Gallagate looking to pick up a few Tims on the way to the game. So we'll keep this show running live. If it pops out, I'll restart it again. I'm on a dongle. I'm going to be in transit. And just for a little bit, as I say, I'll be playing this pre-recorded stuff here, just to while away the... It's no stoked, is it? Sometimes all the stuff freezes. I'm running this in a wee netbook in the house now, about to jump into my tinfoil covered Skoda. And we're on the run. And only because I said I'm taking on Clyde all week, Monday to Thursday, is I feel duty bound, even though I've not got any good brothers here, although I've got more commitments from internet bloggers. I've just not got round to doing it. I was hoping to do a couple of interviews with a couple of people today, but sadly, as I say, we've got the Aurora Borealis crackpot Deco, who will remain nameless just now, or will remain without a name. Right, anyway, I'm on the run here. My Waynes needs to get to the game, so I'll put this on now and I'll join you when I'm mobile in the next 10-15 minutes. Hail, hail. Crackpot McDougall, live and direct now from a tinfoil covered house, going into a tinfoil covered Skoda. Hail, hail. See you the other side.
This was broadly the argument of the early Zionists like Theodor Herzl, who came to believe that the only solution to the Jewish question was indeed for the Jews to leave Europe and found their own Judenstaat. Herzl made a succession of attempts to win the support of the Rothschilds in the belief that they were about to liquidate their vast capital as a response to anti-Semitic attacks. But his 66-page address to the Rothschild Family Council was never sent, as he concluded from an initial rebuff that they were vulgar, contemptuous, egotistical people. The Rothschilds, he later declared, were a national misfortune for the Jews. He even threatened to liquidate them or to wage a barbaric campaign against them if they opposed him. If a Zionist could use such language in the 1890s, it is perhaps not surprising that the radical anti-Semites who flourished in the defeated states of Central Europe after the First World War did so too. A good example is Dietrich Eckart's address to all working people, of 1919. The House of Rothschild owns $40 billion. They only need to administer their wealth to see that it is nicely placed. They do not need to work, at least not what we understand by work. But who provides them and their like with such an enormous amount of money? Who does this? You do it. Nobody but you. That's right. It is your money, hard-earned through care and sorrow, which is drawn as if magnetically into the coffers of these insatiable people. Another early National Socialist who cited the Rothschilds as examples of the Jewish problem he pledged to solve was Adolf Hitler. In an article in the Nazi Völkische Beobachter in May 1921, for example, he named them as one of a group of Jewish capitalists who controlled the socialist press. On at least 2 occasions in 1922, he gave speeches in which he referred to the significant difference between the achievements of a man like Alfred Krupp, who has bequeathed an immense national achievement through his indefatigable work as an innovator, and the rapacity of a Rothschild who financed wars and revolutions and brought the peoples into interest servitude through loans. The television preacher and Republican politician Pat Robertson's book, The New World Order, published in 1991, states that the Rothschilds were polluted by the occultism of illuminated Freemasonry, and that Paul Warburg, architect of the Federal Reserve System, was a Rothschild agent. From a completely different political milieu, Khalid Mohammed, a former assistant to Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the radical African-American organization Nation of Islam, has repeated the suggestion that the Rothschilds financed Hitler and aided his anti-Semitic policies. A cursory search of the internet reveals a plethora of conspiracy theories. The Rothschilds arranged the murder of President Lincoln, as his post-war policies would have wrecked their commodity speculations. The Rothschilds financed the rise of Hitler as a bulwark against the Soviet Union. The Rothschilds are interwoven with the Catholic Church, and jointly with the traditional mafia and the American CIA, which was pro-Nazi. They are the hidden power which controls other well-known banks, such as Warburg's, Schroeder's, and Lazar's, as well as being behind American financiers such as J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, Kuhn, Loeb and Company, the Spires and the Lehmans, not to mention the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve System, an obvious Rothschild front. Through this network of global power, they have been responsible for, among other things, the Boer War, the creation of Israel to control the oil of the Middle East, the Russian Revolution, a coup on Russia by the United States financial arm largely controlled by the Rothschilds, and even the floating of the dollar by President Nixon. Today, they and their associates in the Conservative Party and the press are plotting to monopolize the world's energy supplies, hence their interest in electricity, coal, and gas privatization. It might be thought that a serious banking history should scrupulously avoid reference to this kind of nonsense. Yet it is impossible to appreciate the need for a scholarly history of the subject if one blithely pretends such myths do not exist.
Yes, thanks for joining us. It's not much of a Celtic Spartak preview now, but what can I say? Commitments and women, little daughter trouble, 16-year-old daughter taking ages to get herself ready to go to the game, so we're just about to fly the nest here into the tinfoil club of Skoda, so we're going part 2 with the Rothschild, and we're getting mobile next time you join me. I'll be somewhere along the Swallowgate. Anyway, hail hail, we'll give you a preview soon. Back to Rothschild part 2.
In 1823, the 12th, 13th, and 14th cantos of Byron's Don Juan were published in London at a time when their author was embroiled, fatally as it proved, in the Greek struggle for independence. Nevertheless, these late verses indicate a keen awareness of the power of money, and specifically of the new kind of financial power personified by Nathan Rothschild. Who hold the balance of the world? Asked Byron in the 12th canto. Who reign o'er Congress, whether royalist or liberal? Who rouse the shirtless patriots of Spain? Who keep the world, both old and new, in pain or pleasure? Who make politics run glibberall? The shade of Bonaparte's noble daring, Jew Rothschild, and his fellow Christian Baring. To Byron, Rothschild and Baring were the true lords of Europe, whose every loan is not a merely speculative hit, but seats a nation or upsets a throne. Republics also get involved a bit. Columbia's stock hath holders not unknown on change, and even thy silver soil Peru must get itself discounted by a Jew. That Byron could suggest, even satirically, that Nathan Rothschild held, along with Alexander Baring, the balance of the world, requires some explanation. In April 1825, the market began to slide. The heaviest falls were experienced by British industrial securities and Latin American bonds. Such a severe asset price deflation was bound to bring a banking crisis in its wake. As it was, 73 out of 770 country banks failed. The country came within 48 hours of putting stop to all dealings between man and man except by barter. Much of the time, Nathan was a buyer or borrower of gold and silver. In December 1825, however, it was the other way round. The Rothschilds gave the bank their gold, supplying the old lady of Threadneedle Street with enough specie from the continent to avert a suspension of cash payments. Of course, Nathan would not have made such immense deliveries of gold without asking for a generous commission in return. The operation has to be seen as part of his campaign to establish himself as the dominant force in the London bullion market. The rescue of the bank was a remarkable achievement which owed everything to the international nature of the Rothschilds' operations. In effect, the brothers were establishing that system of international monetary cooperation which would later be performed routinely by central banks, and on which the gold standard came to depend. Increasingly, their position in the international bullion market was becoming as dominant as their position in the international bond market. Byron was therefore not far wide of the mark when he suggested in Don Juan that Baring and Rothschild reigned over both royalists and liberals, and that their loans could seat a nation or upset a throne. He erred only in regarding the two bankers as financial equals. In 1815 they had been. By 1825 they were not. If there was a sixth great power in the 1820s, it was no longer Baring's, but Rothschild's. At the same time, by dint of their size, the Rothschilds came to see themselves as bearing a degree of responsibility for the stability of the banking system as a whole. This explains their reluctance to see their rivals fail. In all this, the Rothschilds were increasingly beginning to think in a way fundamentally similar to that characteristic of central bankers. The central banks of England and France continued to be partly private institutions. In terms of their financial resources, they were in fact the only banks comparable with the Rothschilds, though of course they were national, where the Rothschilds were international, and the Rothschilds had no interest in resisting their monopolization of note issue. The relationships between the Rothschilds and the European central banks were thus almost always close and symbiotic. Of growing importance as a non-exclusive source of financial information and misinformation in this period was, of course, the press. It might be thought that the proliferation of newspapers in the 19th century tended to erode the advantages which the Rothschilds were able to derive from their private system of communications. On the other hand, the existence of financial pages in newspapers presented new opportunities for influencing the markets, which the Rothschilds were not slow to exploit. Nathan responded to early press attacks by establishing what was to be an enduring relationship with the most influential of all British papers, The Times. The Times correspondent reported from St. Petersburg that the mere appearance of James Rothschild at the Bourse was expected to boost Russian bond prices. By the summer of 1825, therefore, the Rothschilds had succeeded triumphantly in establishing themselves as the leading specialists in European public finance. And not only European. New fiscal needs quickly arose from the political crises which beset the Spanish and Ottoman empires in this period. It was this need which Nathan and his brothers successfully met. The system they developed enabled British investors and other rich capitalists in Western Europe to invest in the debts of those states by purchasing internationally tradable, fixed-interest transferable bonds. The significance of this system for 19th century history cannot be overemphasized. For this growing international bond market brought together Europe's true capitalists, that elite of people wealthy enough to be able to tie up money in such assets and shrewd enough to appreciate the advantages of such assets as compared with traditional forms of holding wealth, land, venal office, and so on. Bonds were liquid. They could be bought and sold 5.5 days out of 7 on the major bourses of Europe and traded informally at other times and in other places. And they were capable of accruing large capital gains. If investors bid up the price of a government's stock, that government could feel secure. If they dumped its stock, that government was quite possibly living on borrowed time as well as money. For this reason, bond prices had a significance which historians have too seldom spelt out. They were, it might be said, a kind of daily opinion poll, an expression of confidence in a given regime. Of course, they were an opinion poll based on a highly unrepresentative sample by modern democratic standards. Only the wealthy, the capitalists, got to vote. These capitalists were thus to a large extent Europe's political class. Indeed, the kind of people who held government bonds were, very roughly speaking, the people who were represented politically, and their opinions were the opinions that mattered in a stratified, undemocratic society. The singular beauty of the bond market was that virtually every state, including, as the century advanced, all the new nation-states and colonies, had sooner or later to come to it, and most states had sizable amounts of tradable debt in circulation. The varying fortunes of government bonds provide a vital insight into the political history of the period. They are also the key to understanding the extent of the power of a bank like Rothschild's, which for much of the 19th century was the prime market maker for such bonds. What determined the ups and downs of the 19th century bond market? The answer to this question is central to any understanding of the history of the Rothschild Bank. Obviously, economic factors played an important part, but the most important factor was political confidence. The confidence of investors, and especially of big market-making investors like the Rothschilds, in the ability of the bond-issuing states to continue to meet their obligations, that is, to pay the interest on their bonds. There were only really two things which might cause them not to do so: war, which would increase their expenditures and decrease their tax revenues, and internal instability, ranging from a change of ministry to full-blown revolution. It was for indications of either of these possible crises that the markets and the Rothschilds, more than anybody, watched. Three things would give an investor an edge over his rival: closeness to the center of political life, the source of news, the speed with which he could receive news of events in states far and near, and the ability to manipulate the transmission of that news to other investors. This explains why the Rothschilds spent so much time, energy, and money maintaining the best possible relations with the leading political figures of the day. It also explains why they carefully developed a network of salaried agents in other key financial markets, whose job it was not only to trade on their behalf, but also to keep them supplied with the latest financial and political news. The Rothschilds' communications network gave them an important advantage over their competitors. Even after they lost this edge, they continued to exercise an influence over the financial press through which news reached a wider public. Indeed, it can be argued that by modifying the existing system for government borrowing to make bonds more easily tradable, the Rothschilds actually created the international bond market in its modern form. As early as August 1820, the Bremen delegate to the German Confederation's Diet in Frankfurt had a conversation with his Austrian counterpart, Count Buhl, which acutely identified the unrivaled extent of the Rothschilds' political influence in Europe. This house has, through its enormous financial transactions and its banking and credit connections, actually achieved the position of a real power. It has to such an extent acquired control of the general money market that it is in a position either to hinder or to promote, as it feels inclined, the movements and operations of potentates and even of the greatest European powers.
And thanks for joining us back again. It's Tommy in Glasgow, live from a tinfoil covered Skoda here in the frozen streets of Glasgow, taking my daughter along the game to the Swallowgate to meet her pal. So we're here doing a preview, and I'm just listening to Radio Shop Ready now. A Celtic fan walked into Dundee United and bought 3 scarves at £24 a pop, and said give it to the next Wayne that comes in. So let's hope it wasn't a little zombie Wayne anyway. So what we're doing now, we're just heading along, and sorry for not getting anything prepared. You got a crackpot in Toronto to blame for that. But what we've got here is some Celtic goals to listen to.
And now in towards Hartson. Hartson now has the opportunity to play left. Plays a quick 1-2. Hartson coming away there, just about 20 yards out. Hartson! What a goal! What a goal! John Hartson has scored! It's all over here at Anfield! Liverpool 0, Celtic 2. The Welshmen strike.
With Larson. John Hartson lines up the shot! John Hartson with the goal, which surely takes Celtic to the UEFA Cup semi-finals. A wonderful strike. Celtic now, surely out of sight. That's magnificent. It's the only way you can describe that. John Hartson should have had a free kick a few seconds ago. It didn't worry about that. That's great play with Larson. Only one thought in his mind here. I'm going to stick this to the back of the net. And he does that so well. He keeps his head down. And whack. Dudek, absolutely no chance of getting it.
Race further. Nakamura! His first Old Firm goal. And typically, it's a beauty. Celtic rise to the Old Firm occasion at last.
Well, what a marvellous finish this is. Great first touch. He gets it out from his feet, and look at the bend and the dip on that one. He's right through it, and just look how much that moves away from McGregor. He thinks it's going to his left, but look at it on the end. It's a fantastic strike. Bang on the 20 minutes mark. And after all that pressure, it's paid off. Nakamura came inside a little bit, and that paid dividends.
Well, he was due. McDonald, Vennegoor of Hesselink! They've done it! Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink answers a Celtic SOS! Save our season! They are still in the title race! And yet again, it's a case of better late than never under Gordon Strachan, who looks like he's going to get the better of Walter Smith at last.
Well, never say never with Celtic. What a lovely dig pass this is from Caldwell. And McDonald finds himself a yard. It's a great header. And that is a priceless header from Jan Vennegoor of Hessel.
Sutton, that's a good layoff. Larson with the reverse pass for Hartson. Henrik Larsson again! Larsson has scored! Sutton, that's a good layoff. Larson with the reverse pass for Hartson. Henrik Larsson again! Larsson has scored!
Yes, big fucking Effie. There's Effie nowhere. Come on, Celtic. Come on. Fucking up the pace here. Need a goal, Celtic. Fucking rattle these cunts before half time. We've had the fucking ball. Show them what we can do, Celtic. Fucking spook them out. Come on, don't let them run at us. They're still coming at us. They'll get fucking 2 players in the wing there. They'll get 3 players in the middle. Ball's played in. Silvio puts the ball into the hands of Big Fraser. Come on, Big Lutz. Long ball. Boom. Up to Big Sammy. Sammy gets a header on. He's come back to a Celtic player. It has. Now we'll get a chance. Now, come on. Scott Brown. Flooded now back now for Benfica. Out to Lustig. Lustig. The ball comes off the Benfica. Is this going out for a corner? It's a corner, yes. The Celtic player gets in front of the Benfica. Shepard's out for a corner. Now we've got a first corner of the game. Mulgrew, Wanyama, back in the net, goal. I'm running about this fucking motor. I'm jumping out and screaming like a fucking lunatic. Come on. Come on, Celtic. Get this one in the fucking net. Come on. Come on, Celtic. There's a goal. Here we go. Mulgrew. Yes! Some of this! Woo! Woo! Yes, I'm fucking... Oh no. Oh no! I'm going to lose the stream! It's going to turn! It turned off, and that was it. It turned off, and that's me. I've just wrapped my way off. Wrapped my way off at the bottom of the Swallowgate, and that's me. Just sitting in here now, putting the heater on. Absolutely Baltic out there tonight. Okay, I'm bolting out here, wait a minute, it's too busy here. Can you hear me? Are you there? Back pop out Dougal time, yes. And it's an hour to kick off, 55 minutes to kick off to Celtic's most important game of the season. This game will be worth at least £5 million minimum. If we get to the next leg of the Champions League, if we get to the last 16, roughly about £5 million. That's a fair nest egg to take, and can't be sniffed at. Can we do it? Can these young boys, these young Lenny's Lions, can we step up to the plate tonight and take what is ours, take what is there waiting for us? We just need to step up with a victory. We need a victory, or God willing, Barca get a victory and then we get a draw. And just have to hope that this freezing cold weather isn't set up for the Russians and we get stage fright and freeze out there. God willing, it's not going to happen like that. We're going to come out there, get tore right into these Russians and fucking show them who's the best. 2-0 up after 10 minutes, settle everybody's nerves, it's party time all the way, and then Messi, hat-trick all the way, takes Gerd Muller's fucking record out of the equation and sends us all the way into last 16 heaven, because Messi is a Fenian Argentinian provo. Viva Malvinas! Malvinas! For the Messi. If Messi gets a hat-trick tonight and knocks these shite houses out for Portugal, then I think Britain should just give back the Malvinas. Give it back to Argentina. So at least we can fucking do. Give Messi his country back. Give it back to the Messi land. The Argy-bargies, it's on their fucking doorstep. Fucking British bastards holding out for oil as usual. All about the fucking oil. But anyway, tonight we'll not talk about the zombies or the British illegal entity. Because we're bailing out here, the traffic's getting busy, this crackpot's going at 2 miles an hour and we're jumping them through, we're off. We'll get some fares later on. God willing from after the game, but I'm not hanging about here, I'm getting out of the way because the traffic's getting busy. And the countdown is on to the game. Glasgow Celtic against Spartak Moscow. In 55 minutes, we'll just come up to a set of lights here, yes. It's absolutely freezing out there tonight. I just saw a car get along with 555 on it. Oh, you better not be a Tim. Right, here we go. We're half an hour into it. It's Crackpot McDougall time. This is a Celtic and Spartak preview. It's not much of a preview because we brought you the Rothschild Bank and Cabal and a few mad goals, and that's about it. And sorry, as I say at the start of the show, I apologise if there's a crackpot. Yes, a crackpot. We have to call him a crackpot because he's out in Toronto. If there's a crackpot listening to this out in Toronto, or even the Bronx, but it's not addressed to my good brother out in the Bronx, it's to the crackpot in Toronto that kept me up on the Skype 6 o'clock in the morning, that led me not to be prepared or get an interview on the go with an internet bampot, or at least from a Lisbon Lion veteran. I was hoping to get one or t'other on earlier on as a wee pre-record and put out, but sadly I never got my scratcher to half to, and that was it. It was out the window. So I do apologise for having nothing prepared, but I felt duty bound. We're taking on Clyde one way, shape or form. If you look at it, Radio Clyde, part of the Bauer media. If you analyse it, it was Armchair Mayor Bauer before he took the name Rothschild. So we're taking on the Rothschild Radio Banking Cabal, Bauer Media, Radio Clyde. So I was just playing a wee bit there about the Rothschilds, explaining. So we're giving you entertainment, education and entertainment from a crackpot and a tinfoil covered Skoda. We started the show in a tinfoil covered house, and now my house is similar to that wee guy Conspiracy. There's no Enemy of the Estate, Enemy of the State, with a wee guy with the pussycat. Some amount of fucking crackpots. This fucking fanny, he just pulled out doing fucking half a mile an hour. Yeah, fucking clown you. Half a mile an hour, pulls out onto the open road when you're driving along, and then takes the next turn. Totally oblivious. Fucking fan cheaters are us. Don't worry, we're on a Bluetooth headset. Get a Bluetooth headset here, so the computer, I don't know if you can hear me alright here, but we're driving through the streets of San Francisco, otherwise known as the Swallowgate. And we're getting out of the pokey here because it's getting frantic with the traffic. I'm not going to the game tonight. I dropped my wee lassie off there. I'm providing a public service for my fellow Tims tonight. Yes, sirree. Look at this fucking trumpet. Some amount of... here. Right, we're pulling in here. We're pulling in. We're getting out of the way here. This is panda minimum here. Absolutely panda fucking minimum. We're pulling in, and then that's us. We've made it to safety here. Just get a wee blast of the old heater. That's it. Yes, we've made it to safety. Who's posting a message here? Crackpot McDougall time. Brian, how you doing? Chris Dovey, how you doing? For the hoops. God bless you, brothers. So we've got one. Look at that. I'm doing a live show in a tinfoil covered Skoda. We've got a brother here, just arrived at Paradise. Are you listening on a phone? You got it on the iPhone, well done. And we've got Chaz Duffy over in the Bronx. The very more takers. And we get a crackpot out in fucking Toronto that caused me to mess up my whole schedule. No, I didn't, don't worry, I'm only messing him a bit. It was good to talk to the brother. And so this is a Celtic and Spartak preview. I've got in the background there, I've been listening in, tuning into Radio Shortbread so you don't have to do it. And solidarity for our brothers up in Dundee United, the Arab Trust. As I said there, I caught a little bit of Celtic fans went in, bought 3 scarves at a cost of 24 bangers each, so it's at £72 he's just fought to and put on the table for Dundee United. And yeah, as many fans then, what should happen? Dundee United should do a different way, so as they bastards don't get the money. So is that they don't get the money for there should be something done about it. They should give tickets out free and ask everybody to put a donation in. And I'll certainly go up to put a donation in and go and watch they bastards get fucking horsed. Oh, here we go, hold on. We got a fucking call here. What's going down? What's going down? Hold on. What's happening here? Hold on, wait till I get this out of the window. Hold on. Wait. Right, back in a second. Hold on. Yes, big fucking Effie. There's Effie nowhere. So, come on Celtic, come on, fucking up the pace here. Need a goal Celtic, fucking rattle these cunts before half time. We've had the fucking ball, show them what we can do Celtic, fucking spook them out. Come on, don't let them run at us. They're still coming at us, they'll get fucking 2 players in the wing there, they'll get 3 players in the middle. So, ball's played in, Silvio puts the ball into the hands of Big Fraser. Come on Big Lutz, long ball, boom. Up to Big Sammy, Sammy gets a header on. Does he come back to a Celtic player? It has, now we'll get a chance, now come on. Scott Brown, flooded now back now for Benfica. Out to Lustig, the ball comes off the Benfica, is this going out for a corner? It's a corner, yes, the Celtic player gets in front of the Benfica, shepherd's out for a corner. Now we've got a first corner of the game. Mulgrew, Wanyama, back in the net, goal. I'm running about this fucking motor, I'm jumping out and screaming like a fucking lunatic. Come on Celtic, get this one in the fucking net. Come on! Come on Celtic, there's a goal. Here we go. Mulgrew. Yes! Samaras! Woo! Woo! Yes, I fucking... Oh no. Oh no! I'm gonna lose the stream! It's gonna come! Hi, how you doing? Sorry about that. Family here phoning up, getting things organised. Come on you boys and greed from Brian there. Well done. Sorry about that there. Played the Sammy goal. I've got this lap, the net boot, the not boot or whatever it's called, and as soon as they scored, the thing closed and it went automatic. Chaz Duffy on the Twitter, a wee crackpot warm up before the game. I'll get a wee retweet there. Brilliant, bro. God bless, mate. Saves me putting it in there, mate. Well done, brother. And favorited. I love it when you put the retweet in the favourite, it puts it up green and gold. The people on Twitter opinions. I'm trying. Oh, I don't. Right, well, what I can do here, right? So I'm out of the way. I'm nice and safe away from all the mad traffic, so as I don't get caught up in it when it gets too busy. So I've just managed to get myself away from all the madness. And what I'm going to try and do now. What have we got here? I'm going to give you the teams. I'll try to get the teams here. I had it for the last game. For the last game, I had the press pack. Does anybody know where to get the press pack on this one? Right, let's see. Anyone with his kids stay clear of the Gallagher? What is that? A lot of boxing Moscow fans try to go with any cunt. Fucking scum cunts. Poles like to have them, corner them there. Moscow fans, here, look at that. This is posted by Andy Pingu on the huddle board at 6:15, so this is 45 minutes ago. A lot of boxing Moscow fans try to go with any cunt. Fucking scum cunts. Polish look to have them cornered in now, but best not taking chances to get kids. No CSE about to protect the scaffers. Where the fuck's Melly? Mammy's Island, Stone Island Clobber, like fuck all over East Glasgow as we speak. Right. Fucking crackpots on this huddle board. Nobody can do anything seriously, they'll just somebody, oh come on, where's the press? There was a press pack, somebody must have a press pack here for the, somebody must have a press pack, anybody get a press pack? Where'd you get it? It's a UEFA, but it's a special thing, where's it go to? Have we got a press pack here? Who's got the press pack on the Twitter? Morning hoops. God bless you, Barry. Yes, we're taking on Radio Clyde for the third night in a row. We're not doing a full show tonight. We're doing it up to what time do we start? Yeah, we'll do it up for another 15 minutes. And I'm still thinking whether I should do a live show with commentary for the game. But any time I've done a commentary, it's always ended up in a bad way. So I fucking don't want to be a Jonah. Oh. And when it gets tight and thing, I can't take it. Especially talking to you fannies. Right. Oh, it's no, nobody's go to here. Wait till I see him. Let's see that other man. One. Come on, hurry up. Let's see. Oh, come on here. Somebody send me the press pack. I want to give you some information. I can't even get it. Right, where's the Fred? Where's the editors? Fred. Quick. Vienna, I'm signed in. Forum. Right, lead page. Here we go. They get a press pack so we can give some information about the teams tonight. And well, so Man City for all their millions. Look what happened to them. What did they get? Absolutely anti. Punted out without even a victory. The first ever English team to go through all the games in the Champions League and not get a victory. Absolutely shocking. It shows you money can't buy you success. And come on here. That's not... Looking at them on the hoops once before. What's the team? The Celtic team? Horizontal stripes. Is that a Celtic team there? It looks like an old school picture of Celtic. Oh my goodness, Jeb Rover. Click to 911, where am I click? Well done, brother, but I've clicked my... Here we go, there's a good brother here, got it. God bless you. Oh, I knew it's all frozen. See these wee netbooks? Can't move now. Right, hopefully you can still hear me. We're still going live here, live and direct from the tinfoil covered Skoda in the frozen wastelands of sweaty Scotland, -5. And all pensioners fawning about everywhere, breaking arms, breaking legs, breaking hips, because they can't clear the pavements. There's an unemployment list that you couldn't believe. Surely we've got salt mountains. Surely we could tie the two things up and grit some of the pavements instead of people having to walk on the roads. The wee pensioners breaking their hips. Fucking joke. You pay all this in your tax. And here we go. Well done, Jeb Rover. God bless you, brother. So we've got the UEFA Champions League Celtic, match day 6, Group G, Celtic Park, Wednesday the 5th of December, 2012. 20:45 Central Eastern European Time, 19:45 local time, Parkhead time, Crackpot McDougall time. It's hail hail. And here we go. If this thing will scroll down. It's hail hail, the Celts are fucking here time. You better Adam and Eve it. It's cash and carry. Where is the cash and carry? His cash and carry. He's into his cash and carry into the game. We need to get a preview for cash and carry here. And we're rolling it down. Previous encounters. Celtic last played a 3-2 victory over in Moscow. Oh, he's maybe on the way to the game. And prior to that, Spartak Moscow 2007, Celtic 1 each, 2 each in aggregate, 1 each away on the 15th of August 2007. Hartley and Pavlyuchenko. Whatever happened to Pavlyuchenko? He scored in the away leg as well, Scott McDonald. And it went to penalties, 4-3. With the famous night with Tommy Burns jumping on top of the Celtic players in a heap as we progressed through to the Champions League that time. Yeah, so the last time Spartak Moscow were in town, the great Tommy Twist, Tommy Turns, Tommy Burns was there. God bless you, Tommy Burns. 29 for the 8th, 07. The good brother had 9 months left to live. You remember him just jumping up there, we'd scored, everybody was an absolute joy. Tommy Burns jumping there like a 14-year-old kid. God bless you, Tommy Burns. I was just talking about him to another person, you know, the way you stood in the jungle and you watched Tommy Burns as a left midfielder plying his trade. Tommy Twist, Tommy Turns, Tommy Burns. And Celtic's record against other teams from Russia, we've got Dynamo Moscow, and Celtic with that, we went through 2-1 in aggregate. And was that aggregate? Yeah, was that Champions League? Was that the group? Or was that the qualifier? Yeah, that was the one that got us through, yeah. Well, did that get us through? Did we get put in the next leg? Aye, we get put out against Arsenal, didn't we? Aye. The cheats of Arsenal put us out after that. So as we're progressing down here, the match background, Celtic still have hope of snatching second place in Group G from Benfica when the host eliminated Spartak in match day 6. Celtic sit level in 7 points with Benfica, but behind them on head-to-head record. Yet if they better the Portuguese side result at FC Barcelona, they will overtake them and advance to the last 16 for the first time since 2007-8. Celtic were 3-2 winners in Moscow match day 2 and also overcame Spartak in spot kicks after the teams played out 2-1 on draws. As I said earlier on, blah de blah. Shunsuke Nakamura missed for Celtic, but Afa Boric saved from Igor Titov. And Pavlyuchenko to secure a 4-3 win in penalties for El Gordo's team. Scott Brown and Aidan McGeady started for Celtic. Scott Brown, God willing, will be playing tonight, and Aidan McGeady playing for Spartak. John Kennedy, who played in the first leg, now coaches the Celtic under-20 team. The background, Neil Lennon's Celtic are looking to complete the first double over opponents in the UEFA Champions League. The Glasgow's club's 3-2 victory over Spartak at the Stadion Luzhny on the 2nd of October was the first away victory in 21 attempts in the modern day competition. Yes, indeed, well done for them saying that, because we did win it, and we did win away many times. Celtic have already earned a famous 2-1 victory against Barcelona at home in Group G, as well as holding Benfica 0-0. Should they beat Spartak, they will have 10 points, their highest tally is 7 appearances in the group stage. And even that, if Benfica beat Barca, they'd still go out with 10 points. Goodness gracious. Let's hope no. Let's not even go there. Right, this brings Aidan McGeady back to Celtic Park for the first time since departure in August 2010, so he's been away 2 years, 4 months. The Irishman made 251 appearances for the Glasgow club, scored 37 goals during a 36-year career between 2004-2010. Valery Karpin, who has replaced Unai Emery at the Spartak Helsinki's match day 5, was once in the losing side against Johan Mjällby, Celtic's assistant manager, when the latter's Sweden beat Karpin's Russia in a 1-0 victory in a 1988 friendly. So the match facts here. This is Celtic's 150th European Cup match. They've scored 46 goals in the UEFA Champions League group stage to final. Right. They've scored more than that in already 150 goals. Kind of zombie bastard did this. Fraser Proster has played in all 810 minutes of Celtic's campaign. Qualifying, including Kelvin Wilson, has featured for all 450 minutes in the group stage. Ten of the side in match 1 were making group stage debuts, with Scott Brown the exception. So basically, we have a team of debutants, and Alex Ferguson put on his programme addressing how it's hard for any team in the cut and thrust of the Champions League to progress, having a heavy dig at Man City. And so for Celtic, a team of novices and youngsters, to do this, okay, mitigating circumstance for the Man City, they're in a tough group, but hey, all relatively speaking, Celtic, for the resources, have faced, well, one of the greatest teams in the world ever, a Benfica team, albeit depleted with some players sold, but nonetheless a not bad Benfica team, who last year put out Man United, and against a Russian team. They're always hard to play, and this is no walkover tonight. And I'm very worried at the loss of Wanyama, and as I spoke to a friend earlier on, worried about the fact that when a team has nothing to play for, they come out and they just play. And we could be full of nervous tension, and it could backfire. So I'm extremely worried. We've not got a good protector in defence in Big Vic there, and him to inspire us to break down the play and move it forward and do something creative or have a shot. So this is a big loss, and hopefully it's one that is... we need a positive result, and then hopefully Messi and Barca do the damage. There's no... oh my god. I've just seen the Barca lineup. It's bad. It is bad here. It's very bad. They've got Pinto, Montoya, Puyol, Adriano, Planas, Song, Thiago, Sergi Roberto, Tello, Rafinha, and Villa. Well, I spoke to my friend last night. He said he hopes that Barca take us seriously. He's over there, but I don't know if he is. I don't know if they have taken us seriously. They'll put out a poor team. My friend said there was not going to be Iniesta or Xavi, and he said there's going to be Messi, but there's not even a Messi there. Oh, I'll be very disappointed. Very disappointed if Barca don't win here tonight. And even a draw. I mean, a draw then makes us, we need a victory. A draw for us is no good then. Okay, look, my nerves are gone now. I'm not doing any commentary. I'm away to go and get myself a wee bit warmer than what I'm going to watch a game somewhere Fucking Barca bastards. I put some amount of money into they bastards in the last couple of years, supporting them against the Royalists for Madrid. If they don't fucking... Look at the state of that team. That is just a kick in the fucking teeth, that, I tell you. You fucking putas for Barca, I tell you. I'll go and support the Royalists in fucking Madrid if you let us down tonight. Fuck's sake. Barcelona, look at that team. Fucking hell. I mean, apart from Puyol and Villa and Song, I mean, Song and Thiago's a young boy. Roberto Tello is a young boy. He played shite in the game against... he's got tremendous promise. My mate rates Thiago. He's still a young boy. And Tello, he had a nightmare of a game in the El Clasico in April. He did no bad in the last El Clasico, I think he came on, but the one back in April he had a mare. So that team there doesn't inspire me at all. And the goalie, I mean, I put in Pinto. He's a bad understudy to Puyol. I mean, Valdez. Look at that, that's a fucking aberration. Dear goodness me. Benfica are just going to... Fuck here, I feel scunnered, right? Hail, hail. God bless every one of you, right? I'm away to lie down in a darkened room for the next 20 minutes and hopefully we need to do it. God bless everybody out there, from Toronto to Moscow to the Bronx to Paradise to wherever you are. Hail, hail. And increase the peace, fight the power, chuck your that, and hopefully we're going to get through here. Oh my goodness, my nerves are gone. And I think the good brother is going to do it. I'll phone in later on if the good brother over in the Beyond the Waves, if Graham's doing a show on Hail Hail Media Beyond the Waves, or maybe phone the good brother through the wee celebration call or a commiseration. I don't know if he's going to do it if we get beat. But anyway, right, I'm away, my nerves are shot to bits now. I can't do a commentary. And we'll love yous and leave yous. And tomorrow, God willing, we'll have an eminent blogger on. Hopefully have a wee interview for you. Hail, hail, Jeb Rover. Thanks for everything you've done there for us, bro. I can't believe you put a real downer on us, mate. That one, as soon as I read that, I was looking for Messi. I just couldn't see Messi. I had to scan it again. I thought, no, this is bad. Anyway. Come on, the Barca. Come on, the Celtic. Fuck you know. Right, hail, hail.